Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 3 of Chopping It Up here on the Big Fight Field channel. My name is Joseph Conlon, and tonight I am going to hand it over right now to the host of episode 3 of Chopping It Up, my good friend Cameron Johnson. So,
Yes,
Cam,
sir.
take it away,
Yes,
buddy.
sir.
What is going on?
What is going on, Joseph? What is going on, Esco? I am letting y'all know right now. The viewers at home know right now. If y'all hear baby noises, throughout this episode, please excuse me. I have my knee. Please excuse me. I got my niece over here. So if you hear baby noises, that's what that is. I'm gonna try to keep this as PG as possible since she's here, but I cannot make any promises. But we had King and Queen, but we had the first round matches in the King and Queen of the Ring tournament happened last night. Sheamus and Gunther was a hell of a match. Sheamus and Gunther 3 was a hell of a match, and Dragunov and Ricochet might be the best TV match on a wrestling show all year. Also, for the first time in 31 years, WWE brings WrestleMania back to Vegas. I don't know what the hell took them so long, but they are going back to Vegas. And instead of them running Caesar's Palace, unfortunately, they are running Allegiant Stadium. So there you go. Backlash take place this weekend. Was the show good or was it a giant waste of time? We are going to talk about it. Best believe we are going to talk about it. And best believe we're going to talk about it. And I wish we can transplant that crowd into every WWE show from now on. And then we got some trivia for this week. I'm letting y'all know right now. I'm gonna bust y'all ass in this trivia right now. Y'all gonna be struggling. But how are y'all doing right now, man?
I'm doing good, man. I enjoyed Backlash this weekend for what it was. I thought it was a fun 3-hour show. I loved the main event between AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes. And besides that, man, I'm chilling. I'm happy to be here, of course, on Tuesday nights with y'all. And tonight we got a good lineup, and of course, right after the Backlash, we got that big WrestleMania announcement. But I'm doing great. Esco, what's going on, man?
Man, what a time to be alive in the world of professional wrestling. That's been my go-to quote since I started Cam with the C&E podcast, and it's still going to live up to this day. What a time to be alive. Backlash was a wonderful show, in my opinion. I think the crowd definitely helped out a lot. Monday Night Raw was very entertaining. It feels good to see Prestige brought back to the King of the Ring, in my opinion. And I actually like how, the audibles that were called, like Drew McIntyre scheduled to face Finn Balor, he was injured. And they did the segment that tied into Jey Uso facing Finn Balor. Well, I thought that was very unique. Another thing I definitely enjoyed as well, Braun Breaker was definitely a great in that scene with Adam Pearce. But we got to give a shout out to R-Truth having the balls to take on the Yukon Huskies basketball team for the World Tag Team Championship.
Yes.
R-Truth, I don't care. R-Truth continues to elevate and just entertain so much. I think he deserves his flowers. And honestly, I would not be mad if I was to get an R-Truth title run later on in the future. He deserves it. He's done his time.
You know what's crazy? Just thinking about that, you were talking about R-Truth, and it got in my mind that in the past 2 weeks, we've gotten big-time sports legends on Monday Night Raw with Patrick Mahomes and Dan Hurley, the head coach of the Yukon Huskies, was on Raw last night. I absolutely love it. As a sports fan, I hate Patrick Mahomes, but the fact that I got to see Patrick Mahomes and Dan Hurley on my wrestling show, man, it was awesome. So whenever like WWE goes into a big city or a big sports town and there's a big time star in there, man, they should be having every opportunity to get a big star in there because man, I'm loving it so far. So I wanted to mention that real quick.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. But most of all, Cam, what were your thoughts on Monday Night Raw last night?
So I thought Raw was a really good show. Headlined by the King of the Ring matches. Sheamus and Gunther was fantastic. And Dragunov Ricochet might be the best wrestling match on TV all year. So this was definitely a very good show. So Raw was definitely a very good. Raw was definitely a very good show. Raw was definitely a very good show, which I'm happy with because a lot of times Raw is boring, a lot of the times. But I'm glad that this was a good show.
Before we get into any of the topics being discussed here tonight, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. We're going to have way more content coming up. I decided not to do a Backlash review because we're going to be talking about it here tonight anyway. So I figured there's absolutely no point of me making a review because I'm going to be talking about it on the Chopping It Up podcast. But be sure to subscribe because we're going to have so much more content coming up on the Big Fight Fuel channel in the rest of the spring and throughout the summer. And you're going to have myself, Cameron Johnson, and Escobar Morales on here every Tuesday night talking about WWE. So be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. All right, Cam, take it away.
Real quick before we move on. Let me hear you say OV ho, OV ho, say OV ho, OV ho, step this way. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar, by the way, not like us. Okay, but now,
did y'all hear what happened, by the way, about Drake's house getting broke into not too long ago, and they shot a security guard?
No.
Yo, the beef is so bad. Freaking Shawn Michaels wants in on it. Look at Shawn trying to be like controversies creates cash moment. I like it.
I did not, but hold on. I have not really. This is totally off topic, by the way. Totally off WWE topic. I have not really paid attention to the whole Drake Kendrick Lamar thing. Have y'all?
I just want to know what Drake did to make Kendrick Lamar this bad. That's all I want to know.
I'm gonna just say this. You know how 2 years ago we had Will Smith and Chris Rock? We have a new rivalry. It's Kendrick Lamar and Drake. I mean,
oh God, it's gonna be rivalry of the year.
I don't know. I think Roman Reigns wait till Roman Reigns comes back. He'll be like, "Y'all worried about this?"
Hey man, we got hating back, bro. We got hating back in 2024. That's what I'm most proud of. We got hating back in 2024. Drew McIntyre hating all over CM Punk. Seth Rollins hating on CM Punk. Three men that absolutely hate each other. We got Christian Cage over in AEW. Who was a massive hater. That man hates on everything. Who was a massive hater. That man hates on everything. And now we got Drake and Kendrick Lamar going at it in a battle of pure hatred right here. Hating is back in 2024. I love to see
it. Yes, sir.
It's hilarious.
Unreal.
I love to see it. But no, Backlash was this Saturday in Lyon, France. What did y'all think of the show?
Go ahead, Esco.
You go first, bro.
All right. Here's what I thought of the show. I'll give my quick thoughts. I thought it was a good show. I thought it was a fun 3-hour wrestling show. And while I was watching the show, I've noticed a trend with Triple H, and this is kind of tied into his NXT days. By the way, I just want to say too, I love the fact that this show was under 3 hours because when we got these B-level pay-per-views, they should be under 3 hours. And I was really, for an example, when I watched the Elimination Chamber, I woke up at 4:45 for that shit. And then the show didn't end until 8:30. And it is like, what the heck? This was nearly a 4-hour show with 4 matches. They've got to figure something out with the time with the times on this show. So, a common trend that I've known with Triple H is 5 matches, quantity over quantity, long matches. I felt like every match got the right time that they needed, and the show was very predictable. Now, sometimes in professional wrestling, predictability is not bad. Here's what I think. Here's what my one criticism of the show was, and then I'm going to get into my positives. Jey Uso should have won the world championship. Because you cannot tell me that after the entrance that he had coming out from the crowd with the fireflies going up and down with his entrance music, that he should have lost that match against Damian Priest. No way. And that guy, before he gets back into the tag team with Jimmy, he has to accomplish something as a single star. He's too over not to. Whether he wins the King of the Ring, whether he's the guy to beat Damian Priest, or perhaps he wins the Intercontinental Championship, which I think is probably out of the picture. So it's obvious. It's what's that?
He should have been the man to beat Gunther, but hey, that's just me.
I don't know about that, but he should either win the King of the Ring or he should win the world championship, whether that's at Saudi Arabia or the Clash of the Castle show. Do I think he's going to? Probably not. That he had his chance at Backlash. They should have given it to him then. I don't think they're going to now. But I mean, you cannot tell me that he probably had one of the coolest entrances I've ever seen watching a wrestling show. And then he goes out there and he loses. Man, I was mad. I was mad when that happened, bro. Like Damian Priest so far, I don't know. He's not really moving me as the world champion. I don't know what it is. It might be the fact that he's not defending the title as much. I don't know. It's just getting started, so I'm gonna have to gel into it and I guess kind of like it. But man, I think Jey Uso should have won the world championship. That's my only criticism on the show. Besides that, though, I thought that match was pretty good for what it was. The best thing on that show was that Bloodline match. The Bloodline no disqualification match was the best match on the entire show. That was pure.
That was amazing.
Yes, Escobar took the words out of my mouth. That was an amazing match. That was the best match on the entire show, in my opinion. And it was chaos. It was absolute chaos. And I kind of felt like this, like usually WWE has those traditional street fights. I don't know, man. I don't know if it was a crowd. I don't know if it was the brain buster spot onto the chairs. But this was not a traditional WWE street fight. This felt like an actual street fight to me. It was pure chaos, and I loved every minute of it. And I loved the unpredictability of it, that people thought going into this that, okay, maybe Jacob Fatu is going to show up, when in fact it was Tunga Loa who showed up.
Yes, sir.
And he is in the new Bloodline, which has me thinking, I mean, you know what? I'll let you guys talk about it, because I'm thinking we might have a new Bloodline feud with stuff that we might have not predicted before. But I loved the Bloodline match. I thought that was the best match on the show. I thought both ladies' matches were good. And then I thought the main event was great as well. But here's the last thing I want to say, and then I'll hand it off to Escobar or Cameron. You guys remember during the pandemic that when we were watching these wrestling shows in the performance center, it was kind of depressing for the wrestlers, and we were like, this is what we need a crowd. This could absolutely use a crowd. And it's shows like this that make you appreciate wonderful crowds like we got in Lyon, France. You know who was the MVP of the entire pay-per-view? It was not anybody that wrestled in the ring. It was the crowd. And Lyon, France has waited. How many years has France waited for a live television show?
Last time I remember they did one was 1989, I think. They did house shows before, but last time I remember them live was 1989.
Okay. So it was 35 years ago, the last time they had a live television show in France. And man, it felt like a freaking frat party in there. I'm being so serious. It was awesome. It was awesome. They were awesome. The chants got repetitive. But I'm watching the women's tag match and they're doing the same chant. I'm like, all right, man, I've heard this too many times. And then we get to the main event and they sing the phenomenal song every time they say the word phenomenal for AJ Styles. And I'm like, this is awesome. Yes, I love this. But that's all I have to say about Backlash, man. I thought it was a good show. It was very fun. And man, I'm loving. My favorite match was the Bloodline against Randy and Kevin.
Tongaloa, I remember when you used to I remember when you used to work for WWE under the name Camacho. You ain't gonna fool me. I ain't gonna forget that easily. I remember you used to come out to the ring on bikes with Sin Cara as Camacho. I'm not gonna forget that, Tongaloa. I'm not gonna forget that.
Backlash was, in my opinion, was a pretty decent show. I love the idea of the opening match where I ain't gonna lie, they worked me when I saw like the security guards coming. I'm like, are they really about to make this match a no contest and stuff like that? And then Nick Aldis was like, you know what? You want to fight? Screw it. No DQ. Ring the bell. I was like, oh shit, here we go. It's about to go down. And Tama Tonga, oh my god, did you see my man's back at the end of the night? I mean, my dude had it rough, but it felt good to finally not get the same old chair shot, chair shot, chair shot, tease the announce table spot. It don't go through, but no, I got garbage cans, I got trash can lids, I got a table. I think we got 2 table spots, a god tier chair spot, and KO diving in the crowd. I thought that was a great opening match. Triple threat match was that was wonderful, in my opinion. Like, as much as that was predictable for Naomi to take the pin, they made Tiffany Stratton look good, and Naomi look good too. I thought that was wonderful. Now, as far as the Jey Uso thing, it's funny because I get where everybody wanted him to win the World Heavyweight Championship. However, I think the more that Jay loses, it still doesn't affect his credibility because people still want more. Like, look at Joseph for an example. He was like saying, I still want more. I still want this. So the fact that my boy is still working Joseph is the funniest thing ever. Like I said, you just got to be patient, Joseph. You just got to be patient. But no, give it time. Give it time. I will say this, though. I did think Jay was going to win after a few near falls and stuff like that. I was like, ooh. I'm like, okay. The tag team match. Okay, the women's tag team match. Okay. I thought it was okay. I did not like the bit with Kyrie and Asuka with the legal tag part. That was very sloppy in my opinion.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it was pretty decent. And then the main event was wonderful. Like, and the fact that AJ Styles wore gear that was similar to the attire that when he fought Dusty Rhodes back then, I thought that was wonderful as well. I think it was a great show. I mean, this was like one of those classic, like, vintage in your house pay-per-views they would do. And it was just be like, yo, just get all the hypeness and everything. I thought it was great. Backlash was really good. I think it will definitely tie into King of the Ring. Excuse me. But it'll just be wonderful. I'm excited.
Speaking of in your house, that's the trivia. Speaking of in your house, that's one of the trivia questions I got for y'all later. That's one of the trivia questions I got for y'all later. But let's so that was Backlash. Overall, a fantastic show.
Did you give your thoughts?
Huh?
Did you give your thoughts?
I thought Backlash was tremendous. This crowd was this had to be the best crowd ever for a WWE show. This crowd was absolutely tremendous. I need WWE to run more shows. I need WWE to run more shows I need WWE to run more shows overseas more often. I need them to run more shows overseas more often. There's so much more class in these than the U.S. crowds. It is absolutely ridiculous. Also, WWE, what are these ticket prices, bro? $350 for a ticket. $350 was a ticket to get in the building list. To get in the building at Backlash. My Lord. But
man, I think those France maniacs would have paid $500 to get in that building, to be honest with you.
You're not wrong.
Those ticket prices. But that leads us to King of the Ring. King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring was last night. The brackets for the Raw and the SmackDown side are this. On the Raw side, we have, let me pull it up. On the Raw side, here we go. On the Raw side, we have Gunther and Sheamus in the first round. Spoiler alert for those of you that didn't watch Raw. Gunther advances over Sheamus. What was a fantastic match. So there you go. Kofi Kingston and Rey Mysterio will take place on Sunday at a WWE live event. Hopefully, WWE records this match. If not, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. We have Ilya Dragunov and Richard O'Shea. We have Ilya Dragunov and Richard O'Shea. Dragunov won. Dragunov won. Dragunov won. He beat Richard O'Shea last night. It was another fantastic television match. So there you go. And Jey Uso beat Finn Balor. Jey Uso took the place of Drew McIntyre, who was injured. So there you go. And on the SmackDown side, the matches that will take place on SmackDown, we have AJ Styles taking on Randy Orton, Baron Corbin and Carmelo Hayes, Santos Escobar and LA Knight, and we have Bobby Lashley and we have Tama Tonga. Telling y'all right now, if Tama Tonga manages to get to the finals, I don't know what Triple H is doing. I don't know what he's doing if Tama Tonga manages to get to the finals. But I'm guessing with the bracket, we're going to get the finals are going to end up being Gunther. And I would say Randy Orton, but Randy Orton at this stage of his career in there with Gunther might turn to dust. So I don't want to put Randy in there. So I think we get a Gunther and LA Knight final with Gunther winning. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think of the men's portion of the King of the Ring so far, what we had last night?
Go ahead, Esco.
Honestly, Gunther's going to win the whole thing, in my opinion. However, I will say this, looking at the bracket real quick, let me pull it up. I will say the build up to it has been wonderful. I really love, Ilya and Richard O'Shea. I can't get that out of my head now. Richard O'Shea.
It was either Richard O'Shea or what Shane calls him in the chat, Trevor from Kentucky. So
Trevor from Kentucky. I'll say this. I'm looking forward to how they're going to do Kofi and Ray. Honestly, I really hope, it probably won't happen, but I hope Kofi wins because I would love to see Kofi and Gunther. I think that'll be a great giant versus underdog match. Mm-hmm. Now, I do want to see this, though. I want to see Gunther and Ilya Dragunov in the semifinals on Monday Night Raw.
Oh,
that is going to be a banger main event. It's going to be great. Now, I don't think
Here's the thing. Shouldn't you save that match for a pay-per-view?
You can think of it like this. That match could spark the upcoming match for the pay-per-view. Let's say Gunther beats Ilya Dragunov. Gunther ends up winning King of the Ring. He ends up winning the World Heavyweight Championship. Ilya Dragunov's upset he didn't win. So he grinds and grinds, wins the Royal Rumble. Boom, you got a WrestleMania match right there. Not saying it's going to happen, but this could just plant the seeds. Joseph, you got to be patient, my man. Got to be patient.
Okay. Hey, I'm just questioning.
Plant the seeds, man. You got to plant the seeds. But I would not mind this being a pay-per-view match. That would be wonderful. I will say this, though. This is me. I'm really not liking the SmackDown bracket. I mean,
that SmackDown bracket stink.
AJ and Randy, I think that'll be good. Those are two veterans that know what to do. Okay, Baron Corbin and Carmelo Hayes. Okay, I love my Olive Garden waiter, Baron Corbin. He will always be the Olive Garden waiter, no matter what. That has been one of the best things ever. Do y'all miss Constable Corbin? Because I do sometimes.
No,
I miss Broke Corbin.
Broke Corbin. No, I need my Olive Garden Corbin where he had this black dress shirt and black pants. He was unlimited breadsticks and soup. It was wonderful. I remember I told Cam that he goes, "What are you talking about?" And I remember one time, I remember Baron did something. And I was like, I heard he goes, I'm tired of this Olive Garden waiter having us. I'm like, it caught on. It caught on. Let's go. Carmelo Hayes, in my opinion, is going to beat Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Now, my issue is this. It's not an issue. LA Knight's going to beat Santos Escobar, and I need Santos Escobar to change his WWE name so I can get in the WWE, by the way. I need you to do that fast and quick. Tama Tonga and Carmelo Hayes. They are both new talent that is on the SmackDown roster. And part of me is like, I get what they're trying to do, but I'm also like, I wouldn't put Tama Tonga in the King of the Ring just yet. Not saying he's not deserving of it. He's a phenomenal talent. I think Tama Tonga needs to be saved to be in the tag team division with his brother. So that way they can go after A-Town Down Under and take the tag team titles. I mean, that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, I would have put... I don't go back at the SmackDown roster. Like, the SmackDown one's just not feeling it. I have this feeling it's probably going to be in the finals, and I hope I'm wrong. It'll probably be Carmelo Hayes and Tama Tonga.
Oh boy, heel versus heel.
I know, but the thing is like, I think Cody and AJ are going to run it back still, in my opinion. I still think they are. I think they might run it back, but it's like Kevin Owens isn't even in this tournament, which I'm surprised about. Like, I would replace Baron Corbin with Kevin Owens if I'm honest with you, or Tama Tonga.
Ugh. Ew.
See, here's
What?
my question. Go ahead, Cam.
I
Go ahead.
I think they're gonna do I think it's Orton and Knight. I think it's I think LA Knight is gonna beat Tama Tonga due to some interference from Kevin Owens. I think Owens is gonna screw him over. I think Randy Orton is gonna beat AJ, and then Orton is gonna beat Mello. And then I think we're gonna get Orton and Knight in the SmackDown finals with LA Knight winning, and it's gonna be Gunther and Knight at King and Queen of the in the finals at King of the Ring with Gunther winning. Because you look at the other because you look at the matches on the show. I mean, on this side of the bracket, AJ's probably wrestling Cody again, so you're taking him out. Gunther and Tama Tonga, I'm good. I think Tama's gonna get screwed over in the tournament. They could do Mello and Gunther. I wouldn't have an issue with them doing that. They could do Mello and Gunther. I wouldn't have an issue with them doing that. But if you look at the SmackDown tournament, LA Knight's really the only person in my opinion that makes sense to go to the finals. So I think it's Gunther and Knight.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said earlier, at this stage of his career, I don't know if putting Randy Orton in the ring against a guy like Gunther would be such a good idea. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. So I don't think he's going to the finals. I have a question before I give my thoughts on this King of the Ring. Why should AJ get a rematch versus Cody Rhodes when Cody beat him clean as a whistle at the pay-per-view with only one Crossroads? I understand that there's nobody to technically face Cody, but like, are we really gonna give AJ another match? And what's the reasoning?
You could do something as simple as this. You can have AJ gaslight by saying it could be this the typical heel. Be like, I underestimated Cody. I didn't give Cody my best. I think Cody was that good. And then you can have Cody come out to the ring. Whoa! And then frickin' he'll be like, what makes you think you're deserving of a title match? And then I say this, hit up the OC, have them attack Cody, and you can do something to be like, AJ can be like, you know what? Let me think about this. You try to make something better than me. Anything you have to do, you're just a shadow. Because AJ was the former Bullet Club leader. Then Cody took over after Kenny. AJ made a name for himself. So did Cody. AJ could literally be like, Cody can't beat me because he doesn't know who he actually is. Who is Cody Rhodes? And then that could pretty much play into the mind games that AJ is more controlling. He has the ability and stuff like that, psychological warfare. And then boom, have it end off within a great match and stuff like that. Everybody looks good.
Yeah, I guess. But man,
Bro,
remember,
that was like the most harshest rejection ever. Wow. I don't
I
put
mean,
like an idea, you know, just I guess like
I don't know because like the SmackDown roster, I'm not impressed by the SmackDown roster. I'm not, and they're really. What are they going to give Cody besides? What are they going to give Cody until a potential big time SummerSlam match against Randy Orton or The Rock? One of those two guys are going to wrestle him at at SummerSlam. I just don't know what big stuff they can do for Cody. But anyway, we could talk. That's a different like we still got SmackDown. We'll see what happens on SmackDown.
oh yeah.
I'm gonna wait until Friday to um to see what happens with Cody next because we got another pay-per-view coming up in literally 2 weeks. So they're gonna have
I'm
to give
excited.
they're gonna have to give him a challenger fest. But here's my thoughts on this King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring tournament. I've tried to look all day, not all day, but for like 10 minutes. Have they announced a SmackDown side for the Queen of the Ring?
They have.
No.
They have?
Yeah, they have.
Who's on it?
The SmackDown side for the Queen of the Ring. I think this is accurate. I think this is accurate. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I believe this is accurate.
Well, I
So
have nothing on Wikipedia.
It's Tiffany Stratton and Blair Davenport. It's Tiffany Stratton versus Blair Davenport. Nia Jax versus Piper Niven. Chelsea Green versus Indy Hartwell. And Naomi versus Candice LeRae.
Where'd you read that at?
I read online that the SmackDown Queen of the Ring tournament matches have been announced. And also, I'm assuming this is accurate because Blair Davenport posted on her story the
They
match
just
graphic.
posted it right now. I got on Wikipedia. I just got it.
Are they the same matches?
Yes.
Gotcha.
I'm
Okay.
assuming this is accurate because this is what Blair Davenport posted. So
Gotcha. I can't see that exactly, but
I saw the glare.
oh, okay. I gotcha. All right, I see that, Cam. All right. So I'll give my thoughts on the Queen's tournament, then the King of the Ring. First of all, shout out to Natalya. I know that's rare, but shout out Natalya. The match against Io Sky last night was really good. I really enjoyed that match. I thought those two ladies had a really good match. I think that Io is going to win this Queen's tournament. I think we get Queen Io in Damage Control. You could do Queen Tiffany. I understand, but I think Tiffany should win Money in the Bank this year. So you can't give her the Queen of the Ring and then give her Money in the Bank. So I think that
Naomi.
I think
yeah,
I think it's Io and Naomi in the finals.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Yep.
And I'll be fine with either or. That'd be a great matchup. Io and Naomi.
And Damage Control, man. I mean, they need some momentum because it seems like, they were involved with that segment last night between Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch. So I feel like if they're next to feud with Becky after Liv, I mean, they need some momentum going into that. So having Io win the Queen of the Ring, that's honestly a layup in my opinion. I think she should win the Queen of the Ring. And then for the King of the Ring, I'm not sure I'm 100% on Gunther winning it. I know he's definitely one of the highest candidates to win, but I think it's either going to be Gunther or Jey Uso because I really think Jey Uso should have a big accomplishment before he goes back to a tag team. So I say if Gunther wins this tournament, then the finals is going to be Gunther versus LA Knight in Saudi Arabia. And if Jey Uso wins this tournament, then the finals is going to be Jey Uso against Mello to be King of the Ring. But I just don't want, I just don't want the winner of this to have a stupid King gimmick for 2 months, 3 months. That's all I ask out of this. Like I don't want to see Gunther walking around pretending to be a fake king. Like I understand.
I don't think he'll do that. He could be like, I'm king of the sacred mat.
Yeah, perfect. But like, dude, Like, I don't need to see him walking around like with what Baron Corbin did. I don't need to see him walking around with a full-ass cape and a crown on his head. I don't need to see that. That's goofy. But
Remember Sheamus with the antlers?
Oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on the tournament. Hey, it's shaping up to be one of the best tournaments of the year. The men's side is. In all wrestling, I mean, the Raw side is stacked. It is stacked.
Yes.
So,
Very.
I mean, the fact that we get a second round matchup between Jey Uso and Ilya Dragunov, I mean, man, that's exciting. I'm not gonna lie, man. That is very exciting.
It is, man. It is, man. Oh God, this King. Oh God, this King and Queen of the Ring. This is gonna be so fun. Also, at King and Queen of the Ring, it is going to be also at King and Queen of the Ring made official last night on Raw. Liv Morgan will challenge Becky Lynch
At Jezebel.
For the women's championship. That Jezebel Hustle. I don't know if y'all saw Liv Morgan on social media, but she had the bandana in her. But she had the purple bandana in her pocket, which of course represents Judgment Day. That, which of course represents Judgment Day. That Hustle, that Jezebel Hustle right there. He ain't doing the nasty with dirty now. Can't believe him.
Oh wow! Okay. I did not see that.
Yeah, what was that? Yeah, she nasty.
Nah, Dominic is nasty.
How does Dom have all this riz? Like, I mean, like Dom pretty much said, I can fight Buddy Matthews and I can fight Uncle Howdy. Like, what you got?
Dominic, man, is going to be the new leader of Judgment Day.
Ooh.
At the end of this, Dominic is going to be the new leader of Judgment Day when they kick out not only Damian, but Rhea.
Really?
That's what I think is happening.
So you want to get a new Judgment Day? So who do you have lined up for your roster? I got to hear. That's interesting.
Dom, Liv, Finn, and JD. Maybe they could find somebody else to be in there as well. I don't know. But I think this all leans up to Dom taking over as the new leader, because if you guys realized last night in the opening segment, I know he wasn't technically a part of the pay-per-view, but in the past couple weeks, Damian has been pissed off at Dominic. Last night, Damian hugged Finn and JD. He did not hug Dominic last night. So,
you know what? That's right. He did give him the cold shoulder. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, he gave
Dominic brought in Carlito. That's what happened.
That's what. Yeah, exactly. And then he brings in Carlito on hour 3.
Carlito the Judgment Day ?
Maybe. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, maybe Carlito's the guy they need in Judgment.
And you know what? And then he could be like, I'm sitting you in Judgment, because that's not cool.
That's not cool. He said Judgment Day taking over Raw. That's cool. So maybe he will be in Judgment Day. I don't know.
That if I can get Carlito in his purple trunks with the apple, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it. That was like one of my favorite attires.
I agree. All right, so what else was there down on here? All right, so we move on from King and Queen of the Ring to WrestleMania. Going back to Las Vegas, Nevada. They beat out Minneapolis, Minnesota. What y'all think about Mania going over to Vegas? I cannot believe it took
America Stadium.
I cannot believe it took them this long to bring Mania to Vegas. I cannot believe it took them this long to bring WrestleMania back to Vegas. And all I can say is WrestleMania. And all I can say is the Charlotte Mayor need to get off their ass. WrestleMania 42. We need it at Bank of America Stadium. That's where we need WrestleMania 42.
Lyles. V. Lyles, that's her name, since 2017. You need to bring WrestleMania to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Either that or go back to Atlanta, Georgia. That's what I need. But
I
if you
do
bring
think
it,
they
but
will
if
do
you
a
bring it
I
to
would love
Atlanta, make
WrestleMania
sure
in
you get
Atlanta
Choppin.
again.
Huh?
I would love WrestleMania in Atlanta. Just go to the South. Just one good time. I will say this though. Part of me wonders if they're able to do Vegas now because of the merge with TKO and UFC. Because
Probably.
UFC does their stuff at like Pro at the Palms, MGM Grand, and stuff like that.
Probably. That's what I'm
And
thinking.
you got NXT that's going to the UFC gym and stuff like
Yes.
that.
Dude, they might do some that's a good opportunity for them to do some promoting while they're in Vegas for NXT in a couple weeks. I actually did not think about that.
So I think it's unique. I will say this though. You're doing this on the West Coast. Don't make this shit a 6-hour show. Do not make it a 6-hour show on night 1 or 2. Because whenever they do it on the West Coast, it's crazy. So I think it's going to be good. Honestly, I like how they're doing it later on in April as well. I think that's funny. If I do not see RVD or Matt Riddle on 420 Night 2 WrestleMania, I'm going to be very upset.
You ain't gonna see Matt Riddle. You might see RVD, but you ain't gonna see Matt Riddle.
I know. I know. I'm just saying, I'm excited. I think it's going to be great. I'm actually looking forward to WWE. Honestly, I'm just looking forward to wrestling, period. But the fact that I'm already excited for WrestleMania next year and we haven't even gotten to SummerSlam, Survivor Series, or the Royal Rumble has done something.
Yeah, that's
like,
a good.
It's a breath of fresh air. It's such a breath of fresh air, man. I'm now at the point where I'm like, I can't do this. I need to watch Monday Night Raw. I need to do this. I need to do that. And
Right.
I think what helps out is Triple H taking over.
Yeah, not necessarily.
I'm not saying he's perfect. However, I do know that there's a breath of fresh air and everybody's a little bit more relaxed in doing their spots and doing their showcases.
Yeah, it is a breath of fresh air because not necessarily Mondays. Like Mondays, I like to go back and like watch other stuff on television, but mostly Fridays. Besides this past Friday, I was at a baseball game. But on Friday nights, I have to be on the couch at 8 o'clock to watch SmackDown. Like I don't want to miss SmackDown because
I don't watch SmackDown. I haven't watched a full episode of SmackDown so I haven't watched a full episode of SmackDown since like 2023. I'm being honest. I do not watch SmackDown.
Bro.
I guess I'm just a blue band guy. I don't know. I had the option to go to SmackDown or Raw during Mania weekend, and I chose SmackDown for some reason. So, but anyway,
I always chose Raw because I like the color red. And back then, in the glory days of the Ruthless Aggression era, I had Tori Wilson and Trish Stratus, and I was thankful for that. So you can thank SmackDown versus Raw on PS2 for that.
So, what was I going to say? I like it. I like the fact that Mania is going to Vegas. I know several people's pitched it. I understand. I'm going to say the same thing. I would love another press conference. I thought the press conference event this past year was fantastic. I loved it. I think they're going to do it again at the T-Mobile Arena the same week as the Super Bowl, even though it's not in Las Vegas this year. I don't know.
I do it at MGM Grand.
They could do that too.
Because the hotel's right there, and that's good for the talent to have their place and stuff like that.
Yeah, they could do that too. Folks, it's May. I understand it's so early, but WWE, if somebody in WWE is watching this, the schedule for WrestleMania weekend has to be fixed. It has to be. The people who are getting inducted in the Hall of Fame do not deserve. Now, I understand this is going to be a West Coast, so it's going to be going on at like 9 o'clock at night in the West Coast. But the Hall of Fame should not be happening at 12:30 a.m. on the East Coast. That's no way. That's bad. That's terrible. So I don't think they're going to change it because they're in the West Coast, but they got to make a schedule change for that. And for the other shows like Raw, SmackDown, NXT Stand and Deliver. My guess is it's going to be at the T-Mobile Arena. That would be my guess. However, I would love for it to be at the Sphere. I would love to see it inside the Sphere. That would be crazy. UFC 306 is going to be UFC 306 is going to be at the Sphere as well. I don't know when it's happening. I think it's happening in like September or something. But yeah. Here's another thing too. WrestleMania and Las Vegas is a match made in heaven. All the stars are going to be in Las Vegas for WrestleMania that weekend. Here's what's not made a match in heaven. Las Vegas and people's wallets. Hotels, ticket prices are going to be so expensive to go to WrestleMania in Las Vegas this year.
They're going to WrestleMania on 420 and Easter. It's gonna be
bro.
No, that's right. The Lord has risen with the devil's lettuce.
WrestleMania is on Easter this year. That's right. Folks, I hope you enjoyed the WrestleMania content on this channel this year, because I don't think you're getting it next year. I just don't plan on spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to go to Las Vegas for WrestleMania. I spent thousands of dollars this year at a WrestleMania that's 25 minutes from my house. It would be times 3 in Las Vegas.
But real talk, you had the cinema WrestleMania. I mean, you done saw The Rock, you saw The Undertaker, you got to see like so much happen. I mean, the jet lag, bro.
Oscar, of course he did. He white. Of course he did. He white. So of course he did. He white. So he got that good credit.
Of course, the white guy. Even on Rated M, I realized he was the only white guy on the show that got the chance to go to tickets.
Hey man, I got my tickets in October, so I did not.
Oh, and he saved money too.
So
you want to donate some of that money, Joseph? I'm just kidding. Man, WrestleMania is going to be pretty good. I think.
Yeah, I'm excited. Is Cody going to be the champion by then? He should be.
I think he will be.
Yeah.
I think he will be, but in his second reign as champion.
Oh, okay. So he drops it when? At SummerSlam?
Yes.
Oh. Oh, boy. Okay.
Or the Royal Rumble.
That's interesting.
But he will be champion in his second reign, though, at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I don't think
that's me though.
He should not be going into WrestleMania as a challenger again.
No.
I will say this. I want to ask this. GCW made the announcement today that they're going to Hawaii for a show. Why is WWE never ran Hawaii for WrestleMania for a pay-per-view period? That is what I would like to know.
Because they knew that if Roman Reigns or any other Samoan wrestler was not booked, they would riot.
I think it's also because of the timetable as well. Like,
do they have a venue?
I would think so. I would think they do. Like, right now it is 2:56 p.m. on Tuesday, May the 7th, which is today, in Hawaii. So let's see. WrestleMania gets a 7, or whatever show it is in Hawaii, gets a 7 o'clock start time. You're talking about a 1 a.m. start time for a wrestling show in America on the East Coast. Who is going to stay up that late to watch a wrestling show? I know I will, but not the casual fan. I know I will too. I'm raising my hand too.
I've stayed up that late to watch New Japan Pro Wrestling live. I mean, I'm dedicated.
I woke up at 4:30 to watch the Elimination Chamber, which was an average pay-per-view at best.
I remember you're texting in our group chat. You're like, "What the fuck is this?" I remember that. What's next, Cam? What's next?
All right, so we talked about WrestleMania in Vegas. We talked about King and Queen of the Ring. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about? Or
We pretty much dated everything.
That's crazy. This is like our shortest episode yet so far.
well, not a lot happened this week.
No, not necessarily
True
news
that.
or anything, but it's crazy that that the pay-per-view schedule, 2 weeks from now we got King of the Ring, and then 3 weeks later we got Clash of the Castle. Here,
Yeah, make sure y'all brush up on your King of the Ring trivia.
time out. I do want to add one more thing before we do trivia real quick. I know that coming out of WrestleMania, we said that that likely match for Clash of the Castle will be Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest for the World Championship. I will say this. If CM Punk is cleared in a couple weeks, you have to do that match you have to do that match at Scotland. You have
in Glasgow?
Yes. Punk and McIntyre in Glasgow.
I'm not mad at that. I agree.
I would not be mad at that.
And,
you need to make the match, though, no holds barred.
And hey, listen, they can have a trilogy if they want. This does not have to be a one-off. Just they get to have a match at Glasgow, and Drew McIntyre gets a huge win over Punk.
You know what they could do? This is how I would book it before Joseph rejects me, like he did in the last one with AJ and Cody. Have McIntyre beat Punk in Glasgow. Have Punk beat McIntyre on an episode of Raw for like a Chicago show, and then do it at SummerSlam. It probably won't be, but it'll have to open the show or something. I want a 3 stages of hell match between McIntyre and Punk.
I would like to see that. When's the last time we've got that match in WWE?
Like an NXT match, but I want a good 3 stages of hell match, and this is how I would do it.
On the main roster,
wasn't it Triple H and Shawn from Armageddon?
No, because I remember Randy Orton and Triple H at one. But
I'm not talking about that No Mercy bullshit. That's some
the last 3 stages of hell match.
No, I'm not talking about No Mercy. Randy Orton and Triple H had a 3 stages of hell match, I think, at the Bash in 2009.
Let me see. Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
First of all, was the singles match. Second, oh yeah, that's right. It was a fucking stretcher match. I hated that shit. Sorry.
Randy Orton versus Triple H at Backlash 2009, and at Payback 2013, we saw John Cena versus the big guy Ryback in a 3 stages of hell match.
What? Wait. It was, you said what, 2013?
John Cena versus Ryback in a 3 stages of the hell match.
I do not remember that.
I just looked it up on YouTube. That's why.
I remember it now. I remember it now. The third match, I think, was an ambulance match with Cena.
Yeah, that's right. Because first match was a lumberjack match. Second was a tables match. And third was an ambulance match. God, I forgot about that. But this is just me, though. If they're doing this 3 stages of hell match between Punk and McIntyre, the last fall needs to be an I Quit match.
That'd be good.
I think. I'll probably just an I Quit match between Punk and Drew McIntyre. Ooh.
And then Punk could brag that he made Drew McIntyre say I quit.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't mind that. All right. Now let's get into this trivia. So, we are doing WWE trivia based on this week, May 6th through May 12th. So we're only doing it on this week. Shout out to TJR Wrestling for helping me out with this, this week in wrestling history stuff. Shout out to them. I only pull WWE stuff. So, I'm going to start off with what I think is a softball anyway before we get into the hard ones. Y'all ready?
Yes,
let's do it.
All right, so let's go. On this week, Edge won his second Money in the Bank briefcase beating who? And who did he cash in on the next night?
Wasn't it Mr. Kennedy and then he cashed in on The Undertaker?
That is correct.
Oh my god. I would have not guessed that. I was
I
about to
remember
say.
that because I believe didn't Taker have a steel cage match or something in that main event?
Yeah, Taker and Batista. I think Taker and Batista wrestled in a steel cage in the main event of SmackDown, and then Mark Henry came out and he beat the piss. And then Mark Henry came out, he beat the piss out of Undertaker. He laid him down, and when Mark Henry was heading to the back, that's when Edge came out and was announced as the newest signee. Was announced as the newest superstar on SmackDown, and Edge won the World Heavyweight title. So yes.
I was upset. I remember that.
All right, that was a softball. I'm gonna give y'all, but I think this is a softball, but y'all might not be able to get this. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
All right, so on this week, WWE held their Extreme Rules pay-per-view in 2014. Can you name me the main event of that show? And can you tell me 3 things that happened on that show?
Daniel Bryan
Okay.
versus Kane in the Extreme Rules match.
The Shield versus Evolution
That too.
in an
That's
elimination match.
Yep, that's
And
one.
was there a fatal 4-way match for the United States Championship?
I don't know. Actually. Let me see.
I know Bryan faced Kane in the main event, and there was a freaking diving headbutt spot from a freaking forklift.
So I know we had the Evolution 6-man tag. We had Esco said Daniel Bryan versus Kane. Oh my god, I'm trying to think.
No, there was no 4-way for the U.S. title on this show.
Oh, here's a question. Was WLC on that show?
That was the
Whoa,
pre-show. That was the pre-show. Yeah.
Does that count?
I'm gonna count it.
Let's go.
I'm gonna count it. We'll see it happen.
Let's go.
All right, so y'all gave me 3, right?
Yeah, we gave Evolution and Shield, Bryan and Kane, and WLC. Let's go, Joseph.
Let's go.
All right, now it's time to get into the hard stuff. Here we go. On this week in WWE history, in your house, a cold day in hell took place. The Undertaker was in his 2nd reign as WWE champion. Who did The Undertaker face in the main event of that show? I'm gonna
Steve
make
Austin.
Damn, bro. You ain't even let Joseph answer the damn question.
I'll tell you right now, I would have not got that answer right.
Because Jim Ross said on the Go Home show, it will be a cold day in hell before Stone Cold Steve Austin wins the World Wrestling Federation Championship.
I was gonna give you multiple choice, Joseph, because I didn't think you were gonna get it. But let's go take it already. So there you go.
I'm sorry.
You good.
All right. So also on this week in WWE history, one of the worst WWE pay-per-views of all time happened. What show was it? Here's a hint. It is from the last 10 years. So from 2014 to 2024, one of the worst WWE pay-per-views of all time happened in this week. What was the name of the show, and what was the main event of that show?
Was it the Hell in a Cell match between Seth Rollins and The Fiend?
No.
Was it oh my god, I'm trying to think of May pay-per-views. 20
I'm thinking you said last 10 years from 2014 to 2024?
Yep.
2016. Was it
Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez?
No.
Was it oh my god. Was it Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal from Backlash?
No. Here's a hint. It is a Backlash. But
It is Backlash.
It is a Backlash, but it's not that one.
So we're sticking with the Backlash pay-per-view here.
Is it Backlash 2018?
It is Backlash 2018.
Oh,
Is the main of it wasn't Nakamura and AJ, was it?
No, the main event was Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe.
Oh my god.
I was off by a year. I can't believe that.
There you go. All right, so there you go. All right, moving on to the trivia here. This week in WWE history, WWE will hold its Insurrection pay-per-view. The pay-per-view was infamous for what happened not on the show, but after the show. What was the incident that happened on this show that I'm referring to?
The plane ride from hell.
It is the plane ride from hell. It is the plane ride from hell. Oh, God. I'm watching NXT right now. It's looking like it's Trick Williams and Noam Dar at NXT Battleground. I love Noam Dar. That is not an NXT Championship match. But, okay.
Oh, no way that's his first challenger.
All right. Looks like it's his first challenge. Noam Dar laid him out. And he's posing with the NXT title. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. We're sticking with WWE Insurrection. WWE will hold its first Insurrection pay-per-view in the year 2000. What was the main event of that show?
It was The Rock versus Triple H versus Shane McMahon for the WWF Championship.
Who was the champion going into the match?
The Rock.
That is correct. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Here's one that's going to be impossible for y'all to get. It's going to be impossible for y'all to get. All right. This one's going to be impossible for y'all to get. Dean Ambrose defended the United States Championship, which is something he did not do very often. Dean Ambrose would defend the United States Championship in a battle royal this week on WWE history in an episode of Raw. Who won the battle royal?
Oh,
Dean
Ambrose.
No.
Oh.
He was the champion.
Yeah,
Whoever won the battle royal faced Dean Ambrose.
Ambrose lost the title. Who
Okay.
Okay, Cam, you got me here. Look, May 2014. Was it a call up from NXT?
Nope.
Wait.
Was it Kofi Kingston?
Was it Cesaro?
No.
Is he currently on the roster right now?
Yes, he is currently on the roster right now.
Okay.
The only hint I will give y'all about this is the man is a future Hall of Famer. That's the only hint I'm gonna give y'all.
Is it Sheamus?
It is Sheamus.
Oh,
wow.
It is Sheamus. It is Sheamus. Sheamus will win his second, I believe his second, either his third or second, something like that, U.S. Championship from Dean Ambrose on this show.
That's what's up. Sheamus is a future Hall of Famer, so that's where you got me right there.
And I think that's all the trivia I have for you guys for shows that happened this week.
I got a bonus one for y'all.
All right, what is
this one?
This, I guess they are WWE affiliated, so this won't really count towards anything, but who beat Ric Flair on May 6th in the Sportatorium in Dallas, Texas to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship?
Oh man, I'm not gonna get that, but you're gonna make me talk about Ric Flair when this question's over. I'm just warning you.
That's Kerry. That is Kerry Von Erich.
Good job, yes sir.
All right. So before we get up on out of here, did anybody see the video of Ric Flair getting kicked out of the restaurant?
Oh God, I saw it.
That was hilarious, bro. I'm not gonna curse because I'm deciding I'm not gonna repeat any of the words what Ric Flair said, but I swear, just look up Ric Flair on Twitter. You will easily find it. Easily. He's using wrestling terminology in a public restaurant. I love
Homeboy was cutting a promo on the assistant manager.
I thought it was more sad than anything, more sad than funny. I laughed, don't get me wrong. I just thought it was more sad than anything. The man is 70-something years old, behaving like this. Like, why?
I understand.
He just had his last match for the 5th time.
He had a heart attack in that match too.
Like,
apparently.
Remember, Ric Flair said, and I quote, he wants to die in the ring.
I heard that. Yes.
You better get Rey Mysterio and get that 619 on call.
He did say that. Oh my gosh. I found it today. At first it was funny, and then it was like, bad behavior. But to me, it was
on some positive note, I will say this. I am honored to have met the man, because in order to be the man, you got to beat the man. I will say it is an honor to have met him. He's wonderful. Like, absolute legend. Absolute legend. The man created Starrcade. I'm just saying.
For sure.
Like, I mean, I feel bad to see some of the greats just go through what they're going through. Mental health is important on Mental Health Awareness Month, guys. Focus on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is that all we got?
That's all we got. That's all the trivia we got.
Episode so far. That's crazy.
Ladies, hey, man, sometimes there's not really a lot to talk about, and sometimes that's all right. But, hey, you know what? We got a whole new week still. I'm sure we'll have plenty of stuff to happen throughout the week, but next week we'll have episode 4, and we will circle back to me as the host of episode 4, and I will do better on the trivia than I did last time because I gave you the easiest question in the entire world, and I will come up with 5 questions for next week in wrestling. But
Cam killed it with these trivia questions. I mean, I completely forgot about Ambrose. I knew he was U.S. champion, but I forgot he lost it to Sheamus. I forgot John Cena wrestled Ryback in a 3 Stages of Hell match. I gotta brush up on my wrestling shit.
Bro, I completely forgot too until I was doing research for the trivia questions and I saw that. I was like, oh wow. But I was like, I didn't put that on there because I didn't think y'all were gonna get it. I was like, it's not gonna be fun if
I might go back and watch that match. Cena and Ryback.
Nah, I'll watch the WLC match. I'm good. Between El Torito and Hornswoggle.
I can't believe I remember it happened, but I didn't know which year it was. So
WLC was so fun.
Yes.
Was the best thing I ever did.
Yes, it was definitely fun. It was over too. The match was over.
Drew McIntyre doing a tope con hilo on the 2 tables. Freaking. And then nothing beats the funny part where freaking Heath Slater body slams one of the Los Matadores guys on a ladder, and I hear him out loud saying, "You all right?" I remember that. Because I remember he slams him towards the ramp. Or like where like the barricade's at, he slams him. And he goes, "You all right?"
Unbelievable. That's all we got here on episode 3 of Chopping It Up. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. Thank you so much to our great host tonight, Cameron Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Who did a wonderful job tonight. Cam, where can everybody follow you?
Follow me on Twitter at Cam71101. Also, make sure you subscribe to the Rated M podcast. Also, make sure you subscribe to the Rated M podcast. Check out the watch along. I'm not looking at the cameras because I'm watching NXT. Make sure you check out the watch along that we did. That all 5 of us did for Backlash that year. Shout out to Biscuitville, by the way, for a fantastic breakfast. I did not know y'all cook like that. So shout out. I did not know y'all cook like that. So shout out to them. Also, make sure you check out. Also, if you're a fan of TNA Wrestling, make sure you check out BodySlam.net YouTube channel and watch Burt Mac reviews every Thursday. So Burt's gonna pay me for saying that, but yeah.
Escobar.
You can find me on Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it, at Escobar2K1. Instagram, Escobar Morales 2K1. And check out Rated M this Thursday for when I will debate on the Rated M podcast on is Undertaker actually a good wrestler? And I will say this right now, Undertaker's character makes up for his lack of wrestling.
Interesting. Be sure to tune in on Thursday at the Rated M Podcast Network. You can follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. And of course, subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. We're taking things very lightly this week. We'll have AEW Dynamite here on the channel tomorrow night, and that'll probably be it for the week. So, yeah, that's all I got. Be sure to subscribe. Comment down below on your thoughts on everything we talked about. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from us. Follow me on Twitter, Colin_Joseph. And make sure you guys have a great week. Have a great week out there. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy and love wrestling. We're out. Peace.
Peace.